Hello everybody. We are back with Don't Toy With Me. We had to come back to this because we're like, ooh, what's going on? When was the last time we played? Looks like right here. So we're back into this, and if you remember our little clown boy and our little doll that we've been taking care of, and there seems to be a little bit of drama. The fragile body and the fragile heart. The porcelain drama queen exits the attic. You might consider getting her something as well to cheer her up. But at the same time, you don't want to encourage her to indulge in such dramatics every time you do something with Huxley. And you know she'll catch on if you make it a pattern. For now, you just have to ignore this outburst, because she's upset with us. You leave the dollhouse alone for the rest of the day. The next morning, you decide to check on the group around breakfast time. Luckily, it looks like everyone is relaxed again as they are spending time together. Okay, so what is this? What's a quiche? Ah, Dahlia. Quiche, Huxley. Quiche. Are you paying attention? You look ready to fall asleep. I never get up this early. My head feels empty and my body feels boneless. You don't have bones. And I'm not sure if your head is empty or not, actually. Do you have glass eyes like mine? Wait, you're distracting me. I'm trying to give instructions. Sorry, Lady Dahlia. Please continue. Well, I was gonna have you dice the vegetables for the quiche, but I'd rather not have you holding the knife while you're so tired. Why don't you mix up the eggs for me instead? I'll measure out the other ingredients for you to mix in, and you'll just have to man the mixer. Aye aye, chef. Easier for me. I'm a klutz with a knife anyways. Alright, Butterfingers. Oh, alright, Butterfingers. Did she take that seriously? The group gets to work on the complex breakfast dish. Dahlia works efficiently as she dices up the various vegetables into little cubes that will suit the size of the dish. She occasionally moves to check on Huxley's progress, but he seems to have things handled. Whisker hangs onto the clown's back, watching the mixture churning in the bowl and occasionally moving the lever switch when Huxley asks him to. Hello? As you watch, you start to notice how much Dahlia looks over their way, a small frown on her face. Whisker catches her eye at one point and looks away. She turns her gaze down to the cutting board. By the time everything is put together to go into the oven, she's on edge. She excuses herself from the kitchen, asking Huxley to set the timer for her on her way out. She heads to the foyer. Oh, what's wrong, Dahlia? Stepping into the foyer, Dahlia spots a handful of items. Oh, God. On the box turntable that Huxley arrived in. A couple of colored balls, some silk handkerchief squares, also colorful, some oversized playing cards, and nothing she'd be really interested in. But there's one particular ornate item among the group. She approaches it and picks it up. Oh, what a cute little cane. I usually prefer parasols, but this is nice. Ah! As she turns the wooden cane over in her hand, she observes the metal handle at the top. It's fairly textured, made to be easy to grab even without wrapping fingers all the way around it. The flat top holds a little painted disc, painstakingly etched with the decorative H. Your work is detailed, even when working with such small materials. You were very particular in making this gift. Oh no. The hand-crafted cane lies splintered in half on the ground. Whoa. What was that? Nothing. Didn't I tell you to wait in the kitchen? So, I don't have to. And I was worried you were acting weird. Oh no. We got drama. Those for me. Dahlia kicks the handle end of the broken cane behind her with her heel. Probably looks like all of it is for you. Whisker skitters across the foyer to Huxley's side, carrying the cane handle in his paws. His little plush steps went unnoticed by the larger toys in the room. Huxley takes the cane and looks to see what Dahlia was hiding. Geez, Dahlia, what's your problem? Seriously, what did I even do? It's not you. I'm just upset with the owner right now. I was really angry and I had picked up the cane. I was so mad I just hit it against the box without thinking and it broke. It was an accident. Bull. You didn't break anything else. You only broke something that was for me. Huxley, are you crying? No. I honestly didn't think it would mean so much to you. It's just a cane. It was made for me. It was made for me. Nobody ever made something just for me. You have so much. But you want to take away what I've got too? It was an accident. You already admitted you thought about it. That's enough. You're very upset with Dahlia for this, and you see Huxley is getting pretty worked up. You're best to separate them for now. And put Dahlia where you don't have to look at her for a little while. But you put Dahlia away in her room and lock the door. Huxley, who was already upset by this turn of events, is terrified at seeing your hand enter the dollhouse so suddenly. There isn't much else you can do but leave him alone to calm down. Dahlia pounds on the door of her room. You can hear her voice cracking as she cries to you, threatens you, says whatever she can think to absolve any guilt. She just doesn't want to take responsibility for what she did. You decide to leave her there until you're feeling less upset about what happened. Whenever what's to happen. For now, when you decide to focus on making a new gift for Huxley. You hadn't expected him to be so sentimental over it. But knowing now that it's very meaningful to him, you're newly motivated to make something for him that he'll enjoy. If he's willing to accept something like that from you, even with his fear of your physical presence, it's a good first foot in the door to actually bonding with the clown. But what to make? We're going to save. We're going to... Let's go with remake the cane. Right, the cane really meant a lot to him. You originally thought of it as a convenience item to help him reach things around the house that were difficult for him without hands. But you wanted it to be personal for him as well, hence the elaborate customization. While not the most beautiful miniatures you've ever crafted for the house, as a first for him, it still holds some meaning. He decided to clear the remains of the old one once everyone is asleep. Then you'll make a new. Over the next couple of days, you leave the dollhouse alone to work diligently on the cane for Huxley. You imagine he'd like some time without you glooming over the house after what happened before. However, you know that before you can present him with a cane, you'll also you'll have to try to get things back to normal within the house. It's time to check on Dahlia. You find her lying on her bed, completely despondent. She's fully dressed, though. You can't be sure whether that means she's been getting up every day to get ready or just hasn't changed into her PJs since you put her there. You unlock the door with a click. She's immediately alert. You're back. I thought maybe you were going to leave me in here forever. I'm sorry for acting out before. I shouldn't have destroyed something you made. Well, this is a surprise. But you doubt she'll learn much from this, even if she's trying to make up with you now. You should consider my feelings too, though. It's not about the gift specifically. You know that, don't you? Oh boy. You aren't sure what to do in response to this. She looks ready to burst into tears, and you're still pretty cross with her. It doesn't negate your suspicion she's only trying to get your sympathy, so you'll forgive her for acting out. She looks up and around the room expectantly. When nothing happens, she slowly sinks. I see. You don't want to talk about it right now. That's fine. It's fine. I should go. I should go let Huxley and Whisker know I'm out again. And I suppose talk to Huxley about this. I love you. Please talk to me soon. She anxiously hurries out of the room, her posture stiff, her expression full of worry. Just in case, you'll stick around and listen in on her and Huxley. You find the conversation already in progress, but their voices are low and hard to hear. Perhaps Dahlia didn't want you to listen in. I just worry that that's the direction this is going. I don't remember it clearly, but I do have mentions in my journal. I don't think it's out of the question that the replacement is what they have in mind. Well, I don't know them very well, so I can't say that, but when I got here, you tried very hard to tell me how much you trusted them on stuff. Plus, don't you think that kind of overreaction to a few gifts for me? This house is already full of your stuff, so it's just common sense that more things would be added for me to balance it out. You just don't get it. My bond with them is special, so I can tell when they're pulling away. Well, so what then? So what? Yeah, I mean, they put me in here for you, didn't they? It's not like you'd be alone even if they did decide to focus their attention on me. That's not the same. Oh. I'm not trying to say I don't like you, Huxley. I like you a lot. You're my friend. But the owner, that's something else differently entirely. My friendship with you makes me happy, but you don't give my life purpose. Nobody can do that for you, Dahlia. I know you think you're made just for them, but here's the thing. You have no purpose. Nobody does. Nobody can give you one. That's the awful truth. You have to get by in life by your own will. Or just spin your wheels like I was when I just gave up. It's your own choice. There's no pressure to live for someone else, but there's no drive outside of your own wants. And that's difficult, but it is what it is. But that can't possibly be right. And how would you know anyways? You spent your whole life in just moping around, hating what you are. Just because you lack any purpose doesn't mean I do too. I should have known better than to confide in you. You don't get it because you've never been anyone's favorite. Aww. Well, I'm Whisker's favorite. Ugh! For a second time in just a few minutes, Dahlia storms out of the room. This time it's clear she's angrier than she is upset. But at the very least, Huxley stood his ground this time. Dahlia looks like she's gonna sulk over tea in the kitchen, so you feel safe in leaving them alone when you get back to work. As long as she isn't at his throat, she can be mad all she likes. Oh wow. Today you finished your cane for Huxley. Rather than draw attention to it, you left it in the foyer for him to find. You're excited to see his reaction. He carefully picks up the cane. It's not perfect recreation, but one you took a little bit more time with. Tiny relief carving spirals down this cane. They aren't detailed since skill is a difficult factor for you, but they were chosen with care. Stars and simple comedy and tragedy mask are on the main motif you chose. The masks feature prominently on the metal handle as well. They're certainly more ornate than before, but used the same H initialed medallion as before as the inlay. A careful reconstruction of the original gift with a little extra love put into it to make up for the loss of the first. He holds it with his arms, standing there quiet in a quiet thought before he breaks the silence. You're probably around, right? Right, there you are. Geez, I just realized I don't really know how to talk to you. Especially since I've been avoiding you. You had to You had to have noticed that. Sorry about that, and thanks for this. I really didn't think you'd care about me at all, since it'd be pretty easy for you to just think of me as some object for your entertainment. But you surprised me. Don't think I'll be dressing up all swanky to match this thing, though. It'll be for knocking stuff off the shelves and helping me up the stairs. That's it. Uh-oh. Dahlia steps down the stairs, frowning as she looks at the conspicuous cane in the foyer. Huxley's initial clears right up as seeing how she's looking at it. Ah, that cane. I suppose I should keep my distance, then. What do you mean? It's not like you'd break it a second time. I told you that was an accident. You're still trying that, huh? I guess I didn't mean to imply you wouldn't break it again out of the goodness of your heart anyway. You only wouldn't break it because you got in trouble for the first time. And I suppose you had the time of your life with me locked away in there, didn't you? Not having to deal with me encroaching on your time with Whisker or the owner? Perhaps I should worry of how you might think up ways to get rid of me for longer than that. You're just trying to get a rise out of me now. How so? It's the truth. Unless you think everything I do should be about you too. I'm the only one who hasn't been acting that way over you after all. So I would understand your confusion. Why are you so jealous of me? Jealous? There's nothing to be jealous of. The owner is only giving you attention because you're a novelty. You're new, and they'll get bored of you. Shut up. And even if they do, whatever. Whisker's my friend. I thought you were too, but whatever. One is plenty for me. At least he cares about me. You never care about anyone but yourself. Oh, this is blowing up. They're getting mean. I'm on Huxley's side, though. Whisker quietly enters the room, having heard the commotion, his name being used. He looks especially worried. That's not true. I care about the owner, or else this wouldn't even matter to me, because they care about me, too. Oh, yeah? Then what happened to what you said before, about their silence being fine with you? They can ignore you all they want as long as they aren't giving attention to anyone else. You're not sure at all about whether they care about you. You're worried you're just a toy to them. Because you put all your worth into getting their approval. You make yourself miserable, Dahlia. So stop coming up with ways to blame me for that. Neither of us control what they do. Neither of us can know for sure how they feel. Neither of us can guarantee we're more than just possessions for them. So it's pointless. If you don't want to be my friend, just leave me alone. You sit in silence for a moment. Is that really how he feels about you, even after you went out of your way to make him feel welcome? He's right about Dahlia's insecurity, but maybe he's the same. Maybe he just can't trust you. You don't like it, but it's hard to completely disregard his point of view. You aren't in the same position at all, and he knows it. Surely he realizes how long you've dealt with Dahlia and her dramatics, though. If you threw out toys every time they were difficult with you, you would never have any. Oh, God. Oh, God. Dahlia returns from the kitchen. Huxley? What do you want, Dahlia? You really don't understand a thing. You ruined everything. Don't you get it? Oh, God. Uh-oh. Dahlia? Dahlia holds a kitchen knife in her hand. I knew she went to get the knife. When she came back, I knew it was trouble. I was wrong. I can admit it. Wanting friends was wrong. It should have been just us. Even Whisker doesn't need to be here. Run, Whisker! Whisker is quick to flee. He bumps into a box, knocking the lid open. He uses it for cover. You're acting nuts. If you want the cane so bad, just take it. I just won't have anything. It's better than whatever this is. I don't want this stupid cane. I just want things to be like they were. Dahlia, please, you're scaring me. You begin to reach in for Dahlia. But she lunges before you can come. No! No! Come close. You're doing it on purpose. Going on and on about how much it doesn't matter to you, about how you aren't even trying. It just comes so easy to you, doesn't it? While I worry and try and actually care about what happens, you just mope until everything gets handed to you. I'm not. Please, I'll just go. I'll ask them to take me out of here. That's not good enough. I need to know that you won't come back. Oh God. Dahlia. Oh God. Oh no. With the knife swinging, there isn't much you can do, but wait. He stopped moving early into the attack. She even tore out his spring and tossed it across the room. Not that he'd been able to use it to get away. He's barely recognizable as a puppet you chose by the time she stands up. Over him. Oh God, look at Whisker. His rubber head was split right up the middle and now lays splayed on the ground like open butterfly wings. Each half of his face is a mask, each displaying a different emotion held in his final moment. His lining is shredded, his stuffing tossed every which way. He's beyond salvaging. Whisker, you are always so bad, so I'm sorry about this. Oh no! You step away from the dollhouse. How did things go so wrong so quickly? You need to find something to put Dahlia in. You can't leave her in there, but you don't want to pick her up while she's acting like this. The knife is the size of an X-Acto blade to you, but you don't doubt she would stick it right through your hand if you gave her the chance. Assuming she didn't go for the vein instead. You find a jar that should be about the right size and grab a large paintbrush, shove her into with and return to the dollhouse. Oh God. You're met with a burning smell and the sight of smoke exiting the windows. You find Dahlia sitting in the attic. In a brief time you were away, she set the room ablaze. You can smell some sort of accelerant. Makes you wonder if she put some thought into this before. But what she would do. It occurs to you to attempt to scoop her into the jar, but the fire is already creeping up the sides of her dress, of her hair. Okay. I don't want to save her. Not gonna lie. She killed Whisker. And Huxley. Leave her. Huxley was right in a way. She's in a hell of her own making. And she never has been so clear as now when you see her being taken by the flames. Cracks from the heat and her clothes and hair burn away. You look away. You start to think there was never a possibility of either of you being happy in this arrangement. It's both a punishment and a mercy to let her burn. You leave to grab a pitcher of water for the fire. To scale, it's a small and fairly contained. The only damage is the dollhouse. Still, you move your paint thinners and repair supplies off of your table and spritz it down to the surface with water. Catch any stray embers. And you wait. You don't put out the fire until you're sure she's been reduced to nothing more than a porcelain debris. Take some responsibility for this situation. After all, it was your dollhouse. You were in charge of it. But things were clearly beyond any redemption. You're not sure when you'll be up to it, but you'll just have to start over fresh. A new home, maybe new toys. And you'll be sure your control is known to be unflyable so that this never happens again. The doll maker, the monster maker. Okay. Do we save her? The dollhouse is definitely ruined. Huxley and Whisker are beyond saving. Horrible as she has been, she's the only thing left. You reach into the dollhouse with your tools and scoop the burning doll into the jar. It's lucky for her that you chose a glass container, or you wouldn't have even had the option. You hurry her into the bathroom, the lid held over the jar to try to keep the smoke from escaping. It's not quite enough to smother the fire. Ooh. You finally bring her to the sink and turn on the faucet, drenching her and filling the container with water. By the time you're done all this, her cotton clothing has been ruined. Her wool wefted hair has easily burned away. Her paper flowers are only ashes in the water. She's naked and charred and unrecognizable. But she's alive. Try as she might to convince you otherwise by sinking motionlessly to the bottom of the jar. You'll have to remake her. The damage is extensive, but she's a monster of your making. You'll breathe new life into her, and hopefully this time you'll get it right. The princess. Oh. Okay. Okay, how do I avoid this? There's no avoiding it. She's crazy. Let's do a new bed. Right, he's still sleeping in that rickety old metal frame in the attic that has been there for years. You're sure he could use something more comfortable, and on top of that, you can customize it to be more suitable for him. Perhaps it would be nice with some bright colors and star relief carvings on the headboard. Maybe bed knobs that took the circus seed lines balancing a ball on their nose? The idea is ambitious, but your mind is already racing through ideas. Already racing. You decide you had better get to work right away. Over the next couple of days, you leave the dollhouse alone, working diligently on the bed for Huxley. You imagine he would like some time without you. However, you know that before you present him with the bed, you ought to get things back to normal. It's time to check on Dahlia. Can I skip? Oh, God. You feel a sense of pride in the little piece of furniture being carved out of the real wood. It's not some cheap plastic piece from the craft store. Clearly, he notices how much work is put into it. He sits on the edge of the bed, testing out the springiness of the mattress. It's definitely better than the old one in the attic. It's only your hope that he would feel more at home that way. It's a big piece of furniture that can easily be ignored, and his stall can't easily be ignored, and his stall is all over it. Like Dahlia's imposing four-poster bed, Huxley is meant to display. He has very permanent place in this house. It's all his. He's asking if we're here. Sorry about that. You ought to move it. Oh, also I'm not lugging this thing up the stairs by myself. You ought to move it. Dahlia steps down the stairs, frowning as she looks at the bed in the foyer. Huxley's initials, she's looking at it. Oh, what is this? It's taking up a whole doorway. Huxley gets back up off the bed where he was sitting. I don't think it's gonna stay here. It's probably for the attic. Right, the attic. I suppose we just dismantle the old one and make room for the new one. Huxley doesn't respond to that. He likely knows it holds a secondary meaning in her eyes. I suppose I'll have to do it myself too, since you can't really help with that. You're just trying to get a rise out of me now. How so? It's the truth. Unless you think everything I do should be about you. I'm the only one who hasn't been acting. Why are you jealous of me? Is she gonna get stabby? Yep, stabby. Okay. I'm gonna have to look into, like, how to not make her. Load. Ah, maybe I had to keep her as the favorite. You still feel Huxley is better suited as something of a distraction for her. Flawed little thing that she is, you wouldn't have kept her this long if you didn't have some attachment to her. Especially with how poorly she gets along with other toys. She's quite lucky that even though she's so much trouble, you have quite the sentimental view of her. Hopefully the clown learns his place in time and stops bringing down the mood for her. If not, you could always make some adjustments. But nothing can last forever. Can we still hear me? Yeah. It's clear enough the honeymoon phase is coming to an end by the argument you find yourself in the progress when you check on the house today. Oh boy. Okay, so yeah, I need to be more on her side, not like him as much, even though he's better. He's far better. You picked out our game 3 times in a row. We're going to play what I want to today. You literally offer to let me choose. You can't say you don't care what we play and then take it back because you don't like what I picked. I didn't know you were going to pick the worst one when I said that. The worst one? You seemed fine with it the other day. Okay, we're going to continue this in the next episode. I think that'll be a good time to continue trying to save him. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. I still think Dahlia should burn. Bye, guys.